What's up, everybody? We are live. We have a good card this Saturday night. We have UFC Vegas 6. We got Derek Lewis, the Black Beast, versus Oleski Oleinik, the Boa Constructor. Great card, man. This is definitely a good card. I think there's 12 fights. Last week we had 8 fights. Kelton, my co-host. What's up, man?
What's up, man? Ready to do this once again? We are spoiled right now, dude. Like I saw a picture of the upcoming UFC schedule, and I'm pretty sure there's a UFC card every single Saturday till like late October or some shit. So like, man, this is just a great time to be an MMA fan, be a handicapper. It's just awesome, and it's just fun to talk fights with you, bro.
Yeah, man, I love this shit. We will talk about last night, but first we're gonna talk about the last card. So we'll just do a quick recap on every fight. The main event, Brunson versus Shabazian. I didn't see that coming. I was one of those guys that said Shabazian's a future champ. I'm not gonna say like forget the guy yet. Like some people are saying he's a jobber and he sucks, he's done. I don't think so. He's 22 years old. This is his first out. He'll be back. But yeah, man, he just did not look that good, dude. He looked decent in the first round, but Brunson really hurt him bad. Brunson took him down. I got to give my props to Brunson, dude. Brunson looked like a fucking beast in that fight, and his fucking chin held up too. So, Shabazin hit him with some big shots. But one thing I noticed while you watch the fight is Shabazin really didn't fucking come forward. He wasn't aggressive as much. Like that's how like Shabazins won all his fights. He's a fucking maniac. He gets in your face. He pressures. He looked hesitant. He looked scared, dude. Like he looked a little like I don't know, man. Like lackluster out there, man. I don't know if he had a bad wake up. It just didn't look like the same Shabazian. But props to Brunson. Co-main event, Mai versus Calderwood. I picked Calderwood to win, but about 5 minutes before the fight started, I chased and I bet on Maya, and I got lucky, like straight up. I won like $200, and I lost my shit because Maya was winning the round, and then she got taken down. I was like, the fuck, Maya, and then she tapped her out. That was a really fucking nice armbar. Should she fight for the belt? No, but it is what it is. Next fight, this one stings. Luque versus Brown. Luque's probably one of my favorite fighters in the world. I've only faded him twice, and both times I faded him, he beat my opponents, Randy Brown and Nico Price. I'm done fading Luque. I don't think I'm going to fade him anymore unless he fights Jeff Neal. If he fights Jeff Neal, I know that I'll get a good line on Neal, and I will bet Neal because I do think that Neal would fuck him up. But I'm not fading Luque. Besides that, I can't, dude. Like Luque he's just a winner, man. His chin's fucking like as much as I want to say he's taking a lot of damage, which he has. He's tough, dude. Like the guy just does not go down. And Brown was definitely looking pretty decent in the second round. But that chin, I didn't think he was chinny. And he only got knocked out once, but yeah, he got knocked out second time. So maybe it is a chin issue with him. Bobby Green versus Venado. This one hurts because I picked Green to win. Dude, Green looked like a fucking monster out there, dude. He fucking dominated Venado. You could say maybe it was Venado not looking good, but I just think Green looked really good. And I think Green deserves a step up in that fight. Jonathan Martinez versus Saenz. Not much to say here. Martinez looked like a good fighter. Saenz is done. I like J Mart. I thought he beat Andre Ewell. I think the kid's pretty talented. And he missed weight, but yeah, I like his game. I like the knees he throws. I like the striking. I like Martinez, man. He's a scrapper. He's a scrappy kid. He has kind of a dad bod too. So yeah, I like anyone that has a dad bod. You're my fan. Next fight, Nathan Manis versus Johnny Munoz. I don't agree with the decision. I thought Munoz won the fight. Kind of a lackluster fight. Manis is trash. I can't wait to fade that guy. Munoz took the fight on like a couple of days' notice, and I thought he won. Jamal Emmers versus Cachero. Emmers looked really good, but then again, he fought a fucking jabroni. So I don't think Cachero was any good at all. And then the last fight, Chris Gutierrez versus Durden. I bet on Durden. I'm not going to say I got lucky because I do agree with the scorecards, but damn, dude, like I really wanted him to win there, man. But Durden he did not win the second or third round. He showed a lot of fucking heart, but he definitely dominated that first round. I think won by a draw, and he looked good. I know you were talking about it too. Durden's fucking. He's talented, man. Once I can see him winning a lot of fights at flyweight, dude. Like that's one thing you got to say. The guy's not a bantamweight; he's a flyweight, and he looked good, and he went to a draw with a fucking a top 25, top 30 fucking bantamweight. So impressive because Gutierrez looks so much bigger than him. And Durden looked pretty decent on the feet for the most part, but just he gassed, man. But he took the fight on short notice and his grappling's good. I was impressed. The guy's chin, dude, he had some really big shots. And yeah, Durden's he's a good fighter, man. Yeah, what about you? Talk about these fights.
Yeah, man, this is probably like the worst night I've had in a long time, just based on my reads. My first losing night in 6 events. We'll talk about it. Edmund Shabazian, I went big on him. Unfortunately, that didn't go my way. Derek Brunson, I mean, it was just, I mean, how many times? I mean, we've been watching MMA for years, man, and we've just seen so many times these hype trains eventually reach a certain level, and they're handed the vet lesson, the first L. We've seen it time after time. Derek Brunson, you're right. He stayed composed. He was super calm in there. The shots didn't really bother him. And yeah, I kind of agree with you that Edmund looked a little bit off. That's not taking away anything from Brunson. It's just, that's just what I see, man. It wasn't the same kind of aggression as before, but yeah, all the props in the world to Brunson. That was probably the most complete, best performance of his career. And then the one before that, I had JoJo Calderwood, and man, Jennifer Maia, that was her best performance of her career as well, man. Like, that's the best she's ever looked on the feet, in my opinion, boxing-wise. And then she got taken down, and then she shows off the jiu-jitsu. Like, I don't know. Like, I knew going in, if it happened to hit the mat, Maia has the better jiu-jitsu. I just didn't think it was going to hit the mat. I just thought they were going to strike for 15 minutes. So, I mean, I can't really say I call that coming in the slightest, but is what it is. Before that, Luque and Brown. I mean, my read was off on this one too. Like, I picked Luque, but I thought Randy Brown was super live, and I don't know, man. I thought Luque really fucking put it on him. He really beat his ass, and that knockout was super vicious. Can't wait to see who he gets next. And then another one my read was super off on, man. I almost bet this, and that would have just been an awful night. I almost bet on Lando Venauta, and Bobby Green looked so much better than he did the first time they fought. Just, I don't know, man. Like, the striking differential was really, really big. Bobby Green looked like a way better boxer out there. I don't know what to think about Lando Venauta, man. He has like no fucking defense. He slows down. Like, he didn't slow down as bad in this fight just because I feel like he conserved his energy, but like, it didn't even matter because he was getting teed off on the whole fucking fight. One my read was good on, though. My only winning bet of the night, I had Jonathan Martinez plus 210 inside the distance, and I was sweating a little bit, man. I hit that third round. There was a few knockdowns. Like, I don't know about y'all, but I thought Jonathan Martinez got 5 knockdowns in that fight. I counted 1 in round 1, 3 in round 2, and obviously the finishing one in round 3. So when I hit that round 3, I'm like, is he seriously about to win like a 30-24 decision here? And then he finally got it, thankfully. So happy about that. I think Martinez, I don't know, man. Like, if he can get his shit together and make 135 still, like, there's totally a case to be made that he grew out of the division. But like, dude, if he can make 135, he's going to be such a monster there. If not, he can grow into featherweight and be pretty good there as well. The Manis and Munoz fight, dude, holy shit. That was, man, yeah, I'm not high on either of these guys in the slightest. I think they're both pretty big fades. I had Munoz by submission, even on a day notice. And, man, he came close in that first round. Honestly, I thought you could have arguably scored that first round 10-8 for Munoz. I think I gave him the second round. I mean, I don't know. All 3 judges had it for Manis, but I thought that fight could have easily gone to Munoz. Either way. Jamal Emmers put on a really good performance, man. And that guy, Vince Cachero, not the most skilled in the world for sure. Definitely a bantamweight as well. But, man, Kid showed a fucking chin on him. And, like, he never stopped moving forward. He is super, super tough. Like, when he goes down to bantamweight and fights someone his own size, maybe a step down in competition, like, I'm really excited to see the kid back. I think Vince Cachero, earned himself a spot to get at least a couple more fights in the UFC. And then Gutierrez and Durden, bro. I'll give you props on that one, even though you didn't cash. I mean, you got what, like plus 285 or some crazy odds on a draw. So that was a good bet. He definitely slowed down there big in the second round. I still feel like, I don't know, had a couple different things gone his way in that second round. I think he could have even got that too, but I gave it to Gutierrez. I had it a draw. I think everybody unanimously scored it a draw. I saw something that was the first ever unanimous draw in UFC history. I don't know if that's true, but I saw someone say that on Twitter. So that's pretty interesting. But yeah, excited to see Cody Durden at flyweight.
Yeah, I had a -2 units on the night. So I mean, like, he went to a draw, Durden, and I bet on Randy Brown. So it wasn't a terrible night, but we got right back on track last night with Contender Series. We both had winning nights. I cashed on Jordan Levitt. I put 3 units on him at -117 to win 2.56. I mean, when the line first opened, I mean, I was gonna bet him at -175, and then I stopped, and then I saw there's like -245. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I was like, okay, I'm not gonna bet this. And then a couple of days go by, and then people see him at the weigh-ins, and he's way smaller than Flores. And I was like, what the hell? -117. So I had to do it, and I was a little nervous, man, because of the size. But the kid's talented. We were talking about it off air. Really good ground game. I mean, it's he kind of has like the Ryan Hall kind of like vibe, but I like the guy, man. He's a character. He's smart, and he's not stupid. He's not going to go out there and strike with you. The guy has a legit ground game, and Flores is an idiot, dude. Flores got taken down. He could have got up, and he pulled guard. Like, why the fuck would you pull guard against fucking a guy like him? But then I looked in his corner, and I saw that he's trained with CDF. So I was like, oh, okay. He's probably trying to fucking show off and try to show fucking Diego Ferreira that he's a beast on the mat, which he's not. And I mean, dude, when I saw Diego in his corner, I was like, oh shit, dude, this guy has a legit ground game. Even though when you watch the tape, he has like 6 wins by sub, but obviously like Levitt is a way better guy on the mat. That's why I bet him. But yeah, man, Levitt looked good. Talk about your bet, because your guy looked fucking legit.
Yeah, man. I had 3 units on Euros Magic at -150, so I won 2 units there. Man, dude, like it wasn't even that I wanted to bet on Euros Magic, because like looking into him, he's 5-0. Has only fought the Alaskan scene guys. Like, granted, he did exactly what he should have against those guys, but like, not necessarily a guy you want to look to bet on. But then when you watch tape on Mikey Gonzalez, dude, I mean, first of all, he's completely one-dimensional. Really, only has a kicking game, which you definitely fucking saw last night. He threw about 30 spinning kicks. And I mean, dude, he had no ground game. I've seen him absolutely blanketed. His boxing sucks. He's terrible defense. He's chinny. I mean, and not only that, he hasn't fought against a guy with a winning record in over 5 years. Hasn't beat a guy with a winning record in like over 6 years. Came in on short notice. I'm like, damn, dude, a 5-0 Serbian guy who I've seen good striking skills from, good takedown defense, like all day long. He made it look easy. I mean, he smoked the guy. So yeah, he looked pretty great. I'm glad we were both able to get on track last night. 2 first-round finishes, man.
Yeah, man. Anything you want to say before you want to dive into the card?
Yeah, I mean, just to touch on the other 2 fights, Jerome Rivera versus Luis Rodriguez, I thought that was a really good fight. I definitely disagree with the decision, though, man. Like, really, really bad decision. I thought Luis Rodriguez won rounds 2 and 3. I know if you look at the stats, it'll show that Jerome Rivera landed a lot more, but like, firstly, most of those were in round 1, and I gave that round to him. But like, all the top control time, 5 or 6 takedowns from Rodriguez, the harder shots too. Man, I think that was a robbery, and I won't say robbery very often. In fact, usually when people say robbery on Twitter, I'll be the first one to say it's not a robbery. It's a close fight, guys. But this was a robbery. I think Luis Rodriguez will absolutely be in the UFC one day. Jerome Rivera, like, before the card started, I actually said that Jerome Rivera had the highest ceiling out of anybody on the card, just based on the fact that he's so fucking big for flyweight. I thought his ground game looked pretty good, even though it kind of didn't last night. I don't know what to think of him now, though. I wasn't impressed with that performance. I'm kind of glad the UFC didn't sign him. And then Dustin Jacoby, like, okay, if you watch those first 7 minutes, you think Dustin Jacoby is a world beater, and then he slows down big time. This guy completely took the Homer Simpson approach, just got teed off on, then he kind of came back in that 3rd round. I thought he arguably even won the 3rd round, but like, I don't know. Like, to shit on Dustin Jacoby, like, he clearly won the first 2 rounds. They were probably both arguably 10-8. Yeah, he gassed out, but he gassed out from beating the shit out of this guy. So, like, I don't know. I don't take too much away from Dustin Jacoby. I'm glad they still signed him, because I saw some people on Twitter saying that Dana's not gonna sign him now because of that. Like, I don't know. You can't take it away from the guy. He looked fucking amazing the first 10 minutes.
He looked good, but I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna give him to like a top 15 guy immediately. I think they're gonna give him like Misha Serkinov. I got a
Ooh,
feeling, dude. And as much as I shit on Serkinov because the guy's chin is not the best, I actually think that he's probably gonna win that fight because Jacoby has been his fucking weakness in the past is the ground game. I mean, it looked good last night, but that's against a guy like Flores. I mean, Serkinov, as much as we want to talk about his chin, the guy has a legit ground game. That Peruvian necktie hit on Crute was fucking serious, dude.
that was
That
nice.
shit, like that shit was legit. But I'm not sure if he's like training right now because when I saw him at the gym at LVAC, he looked like he was a lot skinnier, bro. Like he looked like small, and I was like, what the hell? Like Serkinov's usually like fucking jacked. So I don't know. Maybe he's
Interesting.
fucking not sure what's going on with him. But I'm excited to see when he's gonna come back. So let's do it, man. First fight of the night. We got Irwin Rivera versus Ali Al Qaisi, and I'm gonna let you go first because I believe that you have a bet.
Man, we're jumping straight into it, huh? Yeah. So I just made a bet a few hours ago. Good fight, man. I think this is going to be a pretty entertaining scrap. Based on the tape I've seen, this is pretty much a striker versus grappler matchup. Irwin Rivera, definitely a boxer. Ali Al Qaisi, even though he has like a wushu Sanda background, like Al Qaisi actually has like a really extended like Muay Thai and kickboxing background. But like if you watch his MMA fights, he definitely favors the grappling, man. He wins most of his fights either by top control or he loves that guillotine, man. He's got a few guillotines, pretty tight squeeze. Man, yeah, basically it just kind of comes down to will Irwin Rivera be able to stuff the takedown attempts from Al Qaisi? Because if he does, I think Irwin Rivera has a big striking advantage and he can outbox Al Qaisi here. Like if this fight plays out on the feet, I got to favor Irwin Rivera probably by a long shot. Just the thing is here, man, like watching the tape on Irwin Rivera, like his wrestling and his ground game is his clear weakness. So like I at plus 170 odds is what I got in Al Qaisi. I absolutely like his chance to, come out here and out wrestle Irwin Rivera. If you watch Irwin Rivera's most recent fight, his most recent fight is against Chikadze, but his fight before Giga Chikadze against Danny Sabatello. Oh my gosh, dude. Like Sabatello takes him down within like 30 seconds, 40 seconds, and he stayed on bottom the entire round. He could not get back up the entire round. It was about 4.5 minutes of top control. The second round, Sabatello starts to get a little more tired, but he still gets a takedown, still has top control. Credit to Rivera, though. He's able to get up in that round, and then Sabatello gets a couple more takedowns, and then it hits round 4. It was a title fight. Props to Rivera. He has great cardio. The guy can go for days. Absolutely. He's got cardio. He's very tough. He has a chin, as you saw in the Chikadze fight, but I mean, the guy's weakness is his ground game, and he can be blanketed down there. So, and I like what I've seen from Al Qaisi, man. He's definitely positionally aware. He's definitely I shouldn't say definitely. He does go for that guillotine. I was gonna say he's position over submission, but like he definitely goes for that guillotine. He loves that fucking guillotine, and I don't blame him. He's gotten a few real nice ones. But when he has top control, he definitely knows how to keep it there. So at plus 170 odds, I like his chance to out grapple Irwin Rivera here. So I'll say Al Qaisi wins a 29-28 or a 30-27 decision. I'm not sold on Irwin Rivera being a minus 200 here in this spot. Like I think it's just being a little overvalued because he went 3 hard rounds with Giga Chikadze, but like that's a striking match. This is completely different. Yeah, I think there's value on the dog.
Yeah, man, I'll keep this short and sweet. I really did not look into this fight that much. I do think that your guy's live for sure because he definitely has the better grappling. If anyone says that that Rivera is a better grappler, then I don't know what they're talking about. Like the guy, I don't think he's a fish out of water on the mat, but he definitely isn't the better grappler. He's the better striker, though. I do believe that. I do think that the guy throws some good, some heat, man, on the feet. I mean, he didn't. I mean, he got dominated against Chikaze, but he still had his moments in the fight. So I do think that he's better on the feet. I don't like Al Qaisi's stand-up, but he's kind of stiff and he's slow. But the guy has good grappling, and he's kind of a weird fucking dude, too. Like, he shaves his eyebrow off and shit. But, yeah, I mean, this should be more of a close fight. So I agree with your play, but I'll go with Rivera with the decision, but I'm not confident. Next fight, we got Yusuf Zalal versus Peter Barrett. Yeah, man, I do think Barrett's a pretty big fucking featherweight. Like, I definitely think that he's the bigger guy, but if you watch the tape on him, man, I don't think he's that impressive. I mean, I really don't. I think that he's a fade. I don't think he's UFC material. He's a tough dude. He's been tapped out twice. I definitely think that Zalal could tap him out. I mean, Zalal's 100% the better grappler. I think on the feet, I think Zalal is more technical. I think Zalal has more volume. Barrett's kind of a wild man though. Like the guy, throws heat. He's a brawler. Like I said, he's tough. He's a scrappy guy. But yeah, I don't see how he wins this fight. I think that Zalal is pretty much better everywhere, but I wouldn't play Zalal at fucking that line. Like I feel like maybe if he was minus 200 or something like that, I personally I wouldn't do it. I do like Zalal, but you always have to bring this up. I mean, the guy still losing the fucking jobbers like what, a year ago, a year and a half ago. Like he barely beat Jordan Griffin, and Jordan Griffin, I don't think he won the fight. I thought he did, but then I rewatched it. I scored over Zalal, but it was pretty close. And I do agree that Griffin would fucking smoke fucking Barrett, but just I don't know, man. I think Zalal's still a little green, dude. I think that he's talented. I just, I want to see him win a couple more fights pretty dominantly. And I mean, this could be the fight that he does it, but I wouldn't play him a juice here. But I do think that he's gonna get the job done, and I think he probably gets it done by submission. So I got Zalal by sub.
What was the Austin Lingo fight not dominant?
Lingo's just a fucking jobber, bro. Like that, I don't know, man. That guy's not good, dude. I think Peter Barrett would beat him, dude, straight up. I don't think Lingo's. Ugh.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Lingo looked like really fucking good before that Zalal fight, and then Zalal completely shut him down. I think the verdict is still out on how good Lingo is, but I mean, it doesn't even matter anymore. We just got to fucking win against Jordan Griffin, bro. I really I mean, I got respect for Jordan Griffin, man, and the fact that Zalal was able to go out there, and I disagree with you. I thought that fight was clearly a W for Yusuf Zalal. I thought he got rounds 2 and 3. He had better cardio. I mean, the kid's got great cardio. I mean, third round, he looked the same as he did in the first round. Got real good striking. He's getting better every fight. He's only 23 years old. He's got a great frame for the weight class, too, even though he wants to move down to 135 pounds. And, his takedown defense is getting better, too. He was able to stuff the shots of Jordan Griffin late in that fight. Man, Peter Barrett here. So I'm not going to lie, man. Watching Peter Barrett live on the Contender Series last summer, after that fight, like my immediate thought was like, wow. Like when he got the contract, I was like, whoa, I cannot wait to fade this guy against UFC competition because, I mean, he fought a 5-0 guy on Contender Series who, I mean, if you look at this 5-0 guy, he fought Sang Hoon Yu. This guy fought 2-2, 3-3, 0-0, 0-0, and 0-0 guys before the Contender Series. And here I'm thinking before that fight starts, oh my God, Peter Barrett's going to fucking destroy this guy. It was the opposite, man. The first round started. Sang Hoon Yu was, I mean, absolutely putting it on him on the feet. I don't think Peter Barrett has very good striking at all, which is kind of weird considering that Jimmy comes out of in Boston. He trains over there with Rob Font and those guys. Striking did not look good at all in that fight. He got taken down. He didn't exactly get crucifixed, but he was definitely, the other guy had side control and he was going for the crucifix and, he was getting the kind of ground and pound you would get if you had the crucifix. I mean, Barrett was just getting absolutely mauled in that round. I thought you could have arguably scored that round 10-8 for the other guy. And then the second and third round starts and fucking the 5-0 dude is just completely gassed. And Peter Barrett he was relentless for the takedowns. I'll give Barrett all the credit in the world. He's super tough. He has good cardio for sure. I mean, when he sticks you against that cage, you can definitely hang on for dear life. And that's what he was doing in that Contender Series fight, man, because that dude was really, really lighting him up bad. And man, if that dude is lighting you up really bad, what do you think Yusuf Zalal is going to do? I think Yusuf Zalal is going to tear through this guy in the feet. I think he can stuff any kind of takedown attempts. I mean, yeah, that's what Peter Barrett was going for last fight, but like he couldn't even get them against a gas fighter. Actually, I take that back. He did get like 1 or 2 late, super, super late into the fight, but like he doesn't have good wrestling. Like if Jordan Griffin wasn't able to get this guy down and sub him, like, really have any kind of success with the grappling at all. I mean, Peter Barrett's not going to. I think now it's set at minus 450. I think that's completely rightful. I like Yusuf Zalal wherever this fight goes, man. Peter Barrett is not UFC caliber, and it sucks because I had Yusuf Zalal in a parlay with Kenny Cross actually last night from Contender Series, but that fight got canceled. So then I was stuck with 3 units on Zalal, and then I added 1 more unit. So I have 4 units on Yusuf Zalal right now straight. The return's kind of shitty. It's like 4 units to win 1.2 or some shit, but it sucks, man, because I had that parlay, and of course the fucking Kenny Cross fight gets canceled. But like, yeah, I'm looking forward to cashing the easy money on Yusuf Zalal here. So I'll say first round knockout.
Yeah, man. Next fight. This is a really interesting fight, man. I've actually had a tough time with this fight. I've been going back and forth. We got Gavin Tucker versus Justin Jaynes. Kelton, who do you got here, man?
Dude, I'm right in that boat with you, bro. This is a weird fight, dude, because, like, I don't know. To be honest, both guys I actually think are kind of fades. Now, when Justin Jaynes was at that plus 165, plus 170 range, I definitely get taking the shot on him there. Like, he can win this fight. I think he has the kind of pressure game to, break Gavin Tucker, put some power on his chin, potentially even finish him. I think he can get takedowns on Gavin Tucker. I mean, Gavin Tucker was taken down by that complete jobber, Sung Woo Choi last fight. Jaynes has good cardio. He's got good wrestling. He has former D1 wrestler. He actually wrestled for the Duke Blue Devils back in the day. It's just if he's not able to take down Gavin Tucker, like, I know he can pressure him and like get on the inside, but like if this fight's at distance, Gavin Tucker has the way better footwork. He has the more technical boxing. I think he can kind of light up Justin Jaynes on the feet, and then even on the mat, Gavin Tucker's he's a pretty solid black belt. So I would even give him like the jiu-jitsu advantage as well, even though Justin Jaynes, he's got a pretty nasty guillotine. I doubt he'd get Gavin Tucker with it, but like skill for skill, man, I think Gavin Tucker is definitely the rightful favorite, and I'll pick him here. I'll say he wins the 29-28 decision, but I definitely think Jaynes has the potential to make it close and possibly even get the upset here.
Yeah, man, it's an interesting fight, dude. Like you mentioned, I do think that Tucker's a fade 100%. I mean, the Rick Glenn fight, Rick Glenn really dominated that fight bad, like really bad, and he took some years off of Tucker. I mean, Tucker's 34, dude. Tucker looks like he's like 21. Like, the guy looks super fucking young, but he's not. He's 34 years old. He trains at TriStar now. I actually thought he looked really good last fight, man, against Choi. But then again, Choi's just a fucking bum. I mean, yeah, he beat Suman Mokhtarian, but that guy is one of the worst fighters ever be in UFC, period. But man, like you said, Tucker has good movement, man. He's tough, dude. Jaynes definitely has the better wrestling, but Jaynes better minus P's and Q's because Tucker is a fucking BJJ black belt, dude. And I mean, it's no joke. I mean, he had a really good guillotine last fight. Like I said, he's more technical. Jaynes definitely is a brawler, though. And I mean, he's 16-4. He's 30 years old. He's won 9 out of his last 10 fights. So, I mean, he's definitely improved a lot. He looked great against Camacho, but I mean, me and you have been talking about this for years. Camacho's a fucking bum, dude. He really is. He has no chin at all. I actually think Brock Weaver's going to beat him straight up. I'm actually excited for that fight. We'll talk about that another day. I got Brock Weaver all day. But yeah, man, I like Jaynes. I do. I mean, the line though right here, like minus 135, plus 15, like I feel like the value's on Tucker personally. But from a betting perspective and a pick, I'm going to go with Jaynes. I think that Jaynes is going to make this a dog fight. And I've seen Tucker quit before. I think that Tucker could quit again. I do think that, like I mentioned, Tucker's the better tactical fighter on the feet. But Jaynes still has pretty decent striking. He has power. He has a good straight left. And I like the guy's heart. I like his ground game. And he's tough, dude. Justin Jaynes is one of those fucking tough journeymen, man. And he's a tough guy, dude. So I'm going to go with Justin Jaynes. I think he's going to get it down on the mat and win a decision here. So I'll go with Justin Jaynes, 29-28. Next fight. We got Kevin Holland versus Joaquin Buckley. I will admit that I really did not look into this fight that much. Personally, I think Kevin Holland is a really good fighter. Who's supposed to fight? He was supposed to fight Trevin Giles.
Giles.
I wish that fight happens in the future. I don't know. I mean, honestly, after what happened, I think they should fucking book Trevin Giles versus Tom Breeze, because I will say this straight up right now from the bottom of my heart: if that fight happens, Tom Breeze is not going to make it out of that fight alive. I definitely think that Trevin Giles would fucking put a serious ass whooping on him. But that's just me. I'm sure a lot of people would think Breeze would fuck him up, but I don't think so. Anyways, back on the matchup. Holland's a good fighter, man. He's so fucking good. I mean, it's striking. Everything about him. We just talked about him, recently. I don't think this guy, making his debut. I've seen him got knocked out before. I mean, he's talented. He's, fought in LFA. I don't really know much about him. I'm sure you might know a little more, but I can't pick a guy making his debut on short notice against fucking Kevin Holland, dude. Let's be honest, dude. Kevin Holland's the top 15 dude. Even though he's not ranked, but he's a top 15 guy. When he shows up, looks like a top 5 guy, but sometimes he just fucks around, man. I mean, but then again, he's only lost to like good fighters. Let's see, he lost to Thiago Santos, and then he lost to who else did he lose to? I'm trying to think who it was. Not GM3.
Brendan Allen.
Brendan Allen, who I'm really high on. You are too. So, yeah, I got Kevin Holland here. I think he's gonna make it look pretty easy. I got Kevin Holland by first round submission. Who do you got?
Man, this is I'm excited for this one, bro, because Joaquin Buckley is actually a guy that I remember watching in Bellator a long ass time ago. So it was actually his Bellator debut against Chris Heatherly, who actually fought in the UFC before. And my God, dude, he destroyed that guy. And I remember thinking, holy shit, this guy could be something. I mean, he's a really good athlete. He's super powerful. He is a pretty good striker. And, back then, I mean, he's 26 now. Back then, when I watched that fight, he was 22. And then after that Chris Heatherly fight, he takes a first-round KO loss to some fucking random fighter from Israel. And I was like, wow, okay, well, I was completely wrong about this guy. And then he gets a couple more wins, and then he gets pretty much wrestle fucked by Logan Storley, who's an 11-0 prospect, really good wrestler. And then he wins his next 2 fights by knockout, even avenging that loss against the Israeli guy. Knocked him out in his most recent fight. And that was actually, that was July 31st. That was 6 days ago. This guy fought 6 days ago?
I know that.
Yeah, on LFA. I don't think he was he was like the co-main event, I want to say. But yeah, so it's really interesting, man, because I think this guy actually has a lot of fucking potential. Now he is, he is a middleweight. I don't think he's the biggest middleweight in the world. I actually think he could, I don't know if he's fought at 170 before, but he could probably drop to 70. I mean, just like Holland. So I don't think, I don't know, man. Even though he's taking this fight on short notice, I don't think he's at that much of a size disadvantage. Like, dude, I'm going to be honest with you, bro. Like, I'm so high on Kevin Holland, but I think Joaquin Buckley actually has a high ceiling. And, like, man, he could have his moments in this fight, but I will go with Kevin Holland. I think Joaquin Buckley is going to give him a run for his money on the feet. But if this fight hits the mat once, I think Kevin Holland will wrap up some kind of opportunistic submission. He's a serious black belt, bro. Like, I know he just earned his black belt a month ago, but between me and you, we know that he was a black belt level probably for like a good almost a year, maybe even more now. Really good grappler. So yeah, I'll go with Kevin Holland. I'll say he gets a round 3 submission after a pretty crazy fight. I have a lot of respect for Joaquin Buckley.
Yeah, next fight, dude. This is probably one of my favorite fights of the night, man. We got Wellington Turman versus Andrew Sanchez. I see some people in the chat. What's up, Curry? Talking about this fight. We will be talking about it right now. Kelton, what do you got?
Man, I don't know who I got, bro. I'm still thinking about it. This is a really interesting fight because I'm definitely high in Wellington Turman. Me and you have been talking about it for a long time. I think the kid is, he's really fucking good on that mat. He's a good wrestler too. Like, he's not even just one of these BJJ guys. Like, he's a good fucking wrestler too. Just the and he looks in better shape every time too. Like, look at his Instagram. He's in insane shape right now. He's growing into the weight class. He's only 24. sky's the limit for this guy, in my opinion. I think Wellington Turman can beat a lot of people. It's just matchups, dude. And I think this might be like a weird matchup for him because Andrew Sanchez, I mean, great wrestler, 100% takedown defense in the UFC. I have a hard time to think that Wellington Turman is going to be able to take down Andrew Sanchez here. So I actually think it's going to come down to the striking, but I will ever so slightly lean Wellington Turman. I just think he's the better athlete. His striking's getting better every time. I mean, let's be honest. Andrew Sanchez, he's a fade. Like, his striking isn't good at all. I mean, the Vettori fight was just a complete – I mean, he didn't get finished. He's got a good chin, I guess, even though he's been knocked out by fuckers like Ryan Jaynes. But, yeah, I don't know, man. It's tough, but I think Wellington Turman can outstrike him here. Like, he's just faster. Like, I think he'll land the more volume. I think he'll be the one moving forward. I just think that judges will like what he's doing a little better. And I think I think he'll definitely be going for the takedowns. I don't know if he'll get one, but like maybe just cage control time. I don't know. I just think the judges will favor what's coming from Wellington Turman more than Andrew Sanchez. So I'll go with him via 29-28 decision.
Yeah, man, I'm more confident in this, man. I got Wellington Turman here. I actually like him quite a bit on there. I mean, I might be betting him. I want to see where the line goes. But if it gets to like minus 130, yeah, I got to play him here, man. I think he's the better fighter. A lot of people call him the Brazilian Vettori. Like you mentioned, he's a good grappler, BJJ black belt, good ground game. His striking is improving too. I mean, he's the better striker in my opinion. I do think so. I don't think Sanchez really is not that good of a striker. Thurman definitely has the cardio advantage. He has the fucking heart advantage. I mean, we can talk about Sanchez, quitting in the third round against Ryan Jaynes or Lionheart and all this stuff, but since the Ryan Jaynes fight, he's been 2-1. But if you watch those two fights, his 2 wins. They were really close. I actually thought Marcus Perez won that fight. A lot of people agree with me too in that fight. That was a really close back and forth fight. I thought Perez did what had enough to win that fight. Even the Barrett fight, man, Barrett fucking almost got him out of there in that second round, but Barrett was just the jobber, bro. He's not good. Imagine what fucking Turman would do to him, man. And I actually thought Barrett could have won that fight too. And then the last fight against Vettori, yes, Vettori, dominated him. Sanchez, I guess, I was surprised at his chin. I was surprised, man, that he fucking didn't get knocked out, but he's a fade. I don't think Sanchez is that good. He's 3-3 in the UFC. He has terrible cardio. His chin's not that good. His striking's not that good. He's a good wrestler, but does he want to take down Turman? Like, number one, can he take down Turman? I don't think he can. And if he does, Thurman definitely has the better ground game, man. So I actually think Thurman's better everywhere, man. I really do. I like him a lot. Like you mentioned, it's kind of a weird matchup, but I still think that Thurman has what it takes to get the finish here, man. You watch the fight card with Carl Robertson. I mean, I've watched that fight so many times, multiple times I watched the fight and I had it for Carl, but then when I rewatched it recently, I actually thought Thurman easily could have won that fight, man. I mean, it all came down in that third round. And then against Marcus Perez, Thurman dominated him, man. I mean, he won every round. He was really good. He ate some big shots in that third round against Marcus Perez and just ate him, dude. I mean, I like Thurman a lot, dude. I mean, the guy's fucking huge for 185 too. I mean, Sanchez is in good shape too, but I don't see how Sanchez wins this fight. I really don't. I think he has to go out there and take him down, and I don't think he can. I don't think if he does, if he gets him down, he's in trouble, man. I mean, Thurman has the better ground game. I can see Thurman reversing him. And on the feet, it's not like Thurman's a world beater on the feet, but is Sanchez good on the feet? I don't think he is. I don't think he's got good of a striker, bro. I think Thurman's the better striker, and I'm not going to sit here and say Thurman's a legit striker because he's not. But it's improving every fight. He has a good right hand. He has good pressure. His striking looked pretty good against Carl Robertson, man, in that fight. You watch that fight, they were fucking trading fucking leather, man, in that first round. I mean, Thurman was looking pretty good on the feet, dude, until he got to the mat. So I got Thurman, and I got Wellington Turman. I like calling him Thurman, even as Turman, but I think Turman's out of there, bro. I really do. I think Turman's gonna break him, man, and finish Andrew Sanchez. So next fight, we got we have my first play of the night. We have Alex Munoz versus Nasrat Haxaras. And I got 2 units on Munoz at I always have to check my notes, man. I believe it's plus 205. Let me just check real quick. I'm pretty sure I might be wrong. No, I am wrong. Okay, so I have 2 units at plus 210. Yeah, man. I don't think Nasrat is a bad fighter. I actually think that he's no slouch. I think that the guy definitely has a lot of potential. He's the better striker here. He has good striking, but if you watch his fights and you see the tape, he's only fought one grappler in UFC, and I don't care what anyone says. I don't think Marcin Hell's good. I think he's a fucking bum. I really don't think he's that good. He's a one-trick pony, and he went out there and fucking dominated Nasrat and won every fucking round. Yes, that was like 3 years ago. I mean, Nasrat's probably improved his ground game, but that's just not enough to convince me. Like, how's he going to do against a grappler? I mean, you can say there's a lot of stuff you can say about Munoz. He hasn't fought in a long time. Where's he training at? I mean, if you look at his college wrestling, his credentials. I mean, didn't have the best record, but if you watch the tape, this guy has a legit ground game, dude. I mean, he has a good grappling game. Say what you want, he beat a guy with one arm, but I mean, he looked impressive in the fight. He won every round, dude. And, I mean, I don't think Newell's a jobber. I think he's no slouch, and he fucking looked good in that fight. And then his last fight against Lamson, he went for one takedown and got stuffed. But I mean, he impressed me in that fight, dude. I actually thought he won every round. He looked pretty good on the feet. His striking improved a lot. You watch this fight with Newell, he didn't throw that much striking. It was all fucking pressure and grappling against Lamson, dude. I mean, Lamson's no slouch, and Munoz showed fucking that he has a good right hand. Then again, he's not the better striker than Nasrat. I'm not going to say Munoz is going to go out there and fucking knock him out, which I highly doubt. But I like Munoz's game, bro. He's a big fucking lightweight. He trains the alpha male. Yes, he's 30 years old, but he has a good straight left. He has a good right hand. But I'm telling you, man, he's going to take down Nasrat. And I just think that he's going to be able to fucking do that for 2 rounds, hold him down. Yes, Nasrat has a good BJJ, but I think Munoz, man, can smother him on the mat. And it's not like Nasrat's way better on the feet. Like, I thought that like before tape, but you watch the fight, striking's improved a lot, dude. Like, he has good fucking boxing, man. He has good cardio. Yes, he gassed a little bit against Lamson, but he still fucking dominated that fight. Great single leg. The 1 year layoff, he got hurt. He was supposed to fight Bob Ross. I think he would have fucking dominated Bob Ross. But great chin this guy has too, man. I mean, this guy can take a fucking shot, dude. Really good chin. And one thing about that is fucking Marcin Held does not have a fucking chin at all. He got fucking dropped in his second round against Nasrat, and he still fucking won the round. I mean, he won every fucking round, and he got dropped. So, not impressed, man. I mean, Nasrat, this is a big fight for Nasrat, I feel like, because if he loses a guy like Munoz, I mean, he just lost to fucking Dober. He loses to another grappler. I mean, what was I going to say about him and grapplers? Because we look at his fucking UFC credentials. Joaquim Silva, striker. Fucking Thibaut Gotti, jobber / striker. Fucking his last fight, Dober, striker. I mean, fucking Mark Diakasi, striker. Like, the guy has grappling, he does, but he's not on the level as Munoz. Munoz 100% is a better grappler than Mark. And Mark's fucking inconsistent as fuck, dude. Like, yeah, you can say that he fucking took down Drakkar Close and all this stuff, but I 100% think that Munoz is the better fucking grappler than Diakasi, and I'm sure most people would agree with me. But I'm impressed with the tape. I like Munoz, man. I know he's undefeated 6-0, and I know he hasn't fought that much, but I like the guy's game, and I think that his game, his style, is gonna cause problems for Nasrat, dude. So I'm gonna go with Munoz, and I'm gonna go with submission win, man. I think he's gonna go out there and tap out Nasrat, man, in the second round. Who do you got?
Yeah, it's a really interesting fight, man. I just think, I mean, it clearly just comes down to how can Nasrat handle the takedown attempts. Can he get back up to his feet? That's what it comes down to, basically, just because, like, if he's able to keep this standing, I see him really outstriking Munoz here pretty badly, maybe even getting a knockout. Like, Munoz is an all right striker, I guess, but, like, it's just kind of basic. Nasrat just has a lot better boxing. That being said, man, this is definitely the kind of style you need to beat Nasrat hack press, unless you're a high level knockout artist like Drew Dober. Yeah, yeah. At the betting odds, I get it, bro. Plus 200 or more against a guy who has the style to take down Nasrat, but I don't know, man. Like, you mentioned the Marcin Held fight. Yeah, that's like 3 years ago. He got taken down there. And then next fight against Mark Diakasi, he stuffed 4 out of 4. And then I don't think there's been a single takedown attempt against Nasrat there. So it's just like, we don't really know where his wrestling game is at. I think this fight is going to tell us a lot. It's just a hard fight to cap. If you're going to bet this fight, 100%, it's the dog or pass. But I'm going to go with Nasrat. I just think he's got the way higher ceiling here, and I think he should be able to stuff here and outstrike this guy. He's only 6-0. Nasrat has twice as many MMA fights as him. Munoz has been inactive as well, so I'll say Munoz wins one round, but I'll go with Nasrat 29-28. But I wish you the best of luck.
Hey, man, next fight, dude. This is a really interesting fight. We got Tim the Dirty Bird Means versus Laureano Staropoli. Kelton, who you got?
Fuck, man. I don't know who I got. Once again, this is a really, really tough fight to call. It's just I mean, it really just comes down to how far done Tim Means is, because like I think everybody who knows anything about the sport can agree that Tim Means in his prime, I mean, he would put it on this kid. It's just, yeah, he's chinny at this point. Even looking at Jesus Christ, what fight was it? Was it Warley Alves? Did he fight Warley Alves? No, it was the Sergio Moraes fight. That was like the eye opener to me. Like, holy shit! Like, you should not be fighting this close against Sergio Moraes. And then he came out first round finish over Ricky Rainey, one of the worst fighters in recent UFC history. And then the Nico Price knockout, that was a fucking bad one. And then he gets Thiago Alves. Yeah, you first round finished a guy in Thiago Alves who, I mean, that's another guy who's completely done. And then the Daniel Rodriguez fight where he gets hurt and finished there. It's just not looking good for the Dirty Bird. He's 36 years old. The volume is kind of declining these days. And Staropoli is a guy who throws a lot, man. I don't know. He doesn't have the biggest power. Like, if you look at his regional scene, like, he was able to knock out a shit ton of 1-0 and 0-0 guys, but like when you get to the UFC level, he wasn't able to finish Hector Aldana, or he wasn't able to finish the guy who Tim Means finished in Thiago Alves. And then he got completely outclassed in the Muslim Salikov fight, which didn't look good there. It's just tough, man, because my gut's telling me this is going to be kind of a disappointing fight where not much happens, and Staropoli kind of just wins on volume. So I don't know. It's just a tough one, because if Tim Means shows up like in really good shape, he's motivated, he looks like the Tim Means of old, like he should put a boxing clinic on this guy. I think the odds are about accurate, though, as Staropoli's slight favorite. He's got a lot more left in the tank when it comes to his career, and he's a big welterweight too, man. He definitely matches up with Tim Means, with the frame. So, yeah, I'll go with Staropoli by decision, but I'm not a big fan of this fight.
Yeah, man. I actually really want to see if the line gets better, man. I actually like Staropoli quite a bit here, man. I think Tim Dirty is done. I think he's washed up. I think he's on the way out. I don't think he has that much left. Nico Price changed his life, dude. He really did. If you watch that fight, you watch how he's looked since then, even before then, he did not look that good against Moraes. He really didn't. I mean, Bilal definitely beat him in that fight, but I mean, even the Thiago Alves fight, you rewatch the fight, he was getting fucking boxed up, bro, in the beginning. Like, I was like, what the? He got rocked. I'm not even kidding. I was like, what the hell? But then he fucking got the first round finish. But yeah, man, I don't trust Tim Means. I don't. I mean, fucking Rodriguez fucking dominated him, dude. Like, straight up. You watch that fight, dominated him. Rodriguez took that fight on short notice, was a huge dog, and looked way fucking better than Means. Like, it's not like Means had his moments. Like, he got fucking fucked up in that fight bad. Staropoli did let me down against Sakalov or Sakal. Fucking, I never can fucking pronounce it. Is it fucking Muslims? Salikov? Yeah,
Salikov.
I mean, I thought Staropoli won around that fight, but yeah, dude, he has a lot of volume. He has good pressure. I think he has good striking. He's technical. Like, he's not like a knockout artist or anything, especially not in the UFC. But I actually think that he can pick him apart and, I mean, touch that chin, because let's be honest, Tim Means does not have a chin. Staropoli is tough as fuck, bro, and he has a good cardio. Grappling wise, I don't think this fight hits the mat. I think Means actually might have to fucking try to take him down to the mat. I don't think he can, though. I got Staropoli using his movement, winning a pretty clear-cut decision, if not, knocks him out. I mean, Tim Means has good boxing. We all know that, but he's fucking washed up, man. I just can't sit here and trust him. Means next fight, main card, we got Benny Benio Dariush versus Scotty Holtzman. This is a great fight. I've had a tough time with this fight. I've faded Benny quite a bit, and I just don't want to do it here, man. I think Benny's a top 15 guy, top 10 guy. The guy, we know what his fucking weakness is. We know that he has a chin. I'm sorry. We know that he's chinny. We know he has a chin problem. We know that he has a cardio problem. But besides that, he's a fucking beast, bro. If he had a good chin and good cardio, he'd probably be a fucking top 3 dude right now in the division straight up. He's so technical on the feet. His body kicks, his boxing, his ground game, his grappling, everything. He's on a really good winning streak right now. I mean, he got hurt against Qaisi, 100%. I mean, Jakar fucking almost got him out of there, but then that finishing sequence he hit on Jakar was fucking nasty. And that's one reason why I'm nervous about picking Beneil here, man. I mean, Scotty hits like a truck, dude. And Scotty definitely has a better cardio. He has great pressure. Scotty is a fucking welterweight, dude. Scotty's huge. He's the bigger dude here. But he gets taken down, man. I mean, you don't want to get taken down by like a guy like Beneil, man. Beneil's ground game's nasty, dude. I do think that Scotty's live. I think he has a shot to get the win, especially if this fight goes late, because we all know he has the cardio advantage pretty fucking rapidly. But yeah, I mean, he looked good against Jim Miller, but then again, if you watch that fight, Jim Miller won a round in that fight, 100%. I got to go with Benny. I think Benny's going to get him down and get him out of there. But if this fight hits the second round, live bet on Scotty, man, because I mean, Benny fucking slows down, man. I mean, even against Qaisi, man, that fight hit the second round. Jakar fucking arguably, I don't know, was he winning the round? I don't know. I mean, Jakar was fucking had his moments. Jakar almost fucking knocked him out, dude. So I'm gonna go with Benny by a sub, but it would not surprise me one bit if fucking Scott Holtzman showed up here and got the win. Who do you got?
I got Benny Dariush here, man. I mean, the more I think about the fight, I think it should be a comfortable win for him, man. I mean, I like Scott Holtzman. I have a lot of respect for him. He's a great fighter for sure. He's pretty well-rounded too. It's just he's outskilled here, man. Like Beneil Dariush, I mean, we all know about the jiu-jitsu. The guy can wrestle to get it there too. And he has really fucking underrated striking too. Like, I mean, he was the first guy to knock out James Vick way back in the day. Looked really good there. The Edson Barboza fight, Beneil Dariush was outstriking Edson Barboza before he got knocked out. Like, not close outstriking, like clearly outstriking Edson Barboza before he got knocked out. Like, and then even looking at the last fight, like, yeah, you can say, oh, he got rocked by Drakkar Klose, who, I mean, doesn't really fucking rock anybody, but like, dude, he came back there, showed toughness. Dude's a monster, came forward, put Drakkar Klose the fuck out. I mean, it was one of the most badass things I've ever seen. I don't know, man. Scott Holtzman, I don't know if he can take advantage of the chin just because, like, yeah, he's fucking huge and he looks like he hits a lot harder than he does. But, I mean, I don't think he has a single knockout in the UFC. Oh, no, I take that back. He has like a I think he has
Patrick.
Yeah, he has that was like ground and pound, but yeah. I don't know, man. I think that it'd be pretty low percentage for him to come out here and knock out Beneil Dariush. I think, honestly, man, for Scott Holtzman to have success in this fight, because I mean, he's not going to out wrestle, he's not going to out grapple him, he's not going to outstrike him. I think Beneil Dariush has to be gassed for Scott Holtzman to have success here, and I mean, that's his biggest tool in this fight is his cardio. So he's got to try to work a game plan here to, outlast Beneil Dariush. And Beneil Dariush, he's going to be coming in for the takedowns early, man. Like I said, Scott Holtzman's had that suspect takedown defense his whole career. Like, even way back in the day when he fought Drew Dober, when Drew Dober was like just strictly a striker, which, I mean, he still pretty much is just a striker. Drew Dober was taking him down all over the place. I forget the other fight that's slipping my mind. Oh, Nick Lentz. Yeah, Nick Lentz had a lot of success. He took him down like 5 times, passed his guard like twice. I don't know, man. I'm going to say Beneil Dariush comes out here, takes him down, and I think he submits Scott Holtzman in the first round. Scott Holtzman has never been finished before, but I don't think he's been on the ground with a guy with the level of BJJ as Beneil Dariush. Like, I know he was in there with Jim Miller, but I mean, shit. I think Beneil Dariush is, he's a higher level than Jim Miller is at this point right now. And yeah, I'm going to say Beneil Dariush takes the back, rear naked choke, round 1.
I just double checked that now. Yeah, Scott's a brown belt, so it's not like he's a fucking jobber on the mat. Like, he's shown fucking that he's a tough fucking dude on the mat. And he's a tough dude. He has a really fucking good chin, man. He's tough. Like, we've seen him be hurt multiple fucking times. And his cardio is good. Like, for a dude that fucking looks like a fucking welterweight and he looks like he's like on steroids, like, the dude's fucking has good cardio. That's the thing. It's if Benny Gas is here, he's going to take over. But, I mean, Benny can 100% get him out of in the first round. Benny's been fucking steamrolling everybody. It's like, I want a big step up for Benny. I want Benny to fight, like, the Charles Oliveira's, like the top dudes in the division. And I mean, if he beats Holtzman, they're gonna have to give him a top 10 guy. So next fight, I mean, this is probably your fucking favorite fight of the night. We got Thiago fucking Santos's fucking wife. We got Yana Kunitskaya versus Julia Stoliarenko, fiance, not wife. Well, they're gonna be married soon, I guess. Kelton, what do you got?
Man, I got Yana Kunitskaya here pretty fucking confidently. I remember the first time I saw Julia Stoliarenko fight. So she was on that season of Tough. I didn't watch that season of Tough. I didn't see either of her fights at this point. Oh, I've seen them now, but at this point, I hadn't seen them. And then she made her UFC debut against Leah Letson, who I have seen Leah Letson fight before, and didn't think she was the best caliber in the world. And guys, when I tell you this was, I mean, arguably one of the worst UFC fights I've ever seen in my life. Julia Stoliarenko has no technical boxing, like zero technique behind her striking. Like she blocks punches with her face. She's a complete punching bag. I mean, she gets busted open almost every fucking fight, like just zero defense. And I'll give her credit though. Like she's aggressive. She comes forward. She has the volume. Like if she had technique, it'd be pretty fucking nice because of the way she fights so aggressively with a lot of volume. It's just, man, I mean, she's going to get outlanded here like 3 for every 1 she lands. I mean, Yana Kunitskaya by far is the more technical striker here. She does have a reach advantage. I believe she is the longer fighter. Obviously has more UFC experience, higher level experience. I mean, Yana Kunitskaya, actually, I was going to say Yana Kunitskaya once held the Invicta strap, but Julia Stoliarenko, I believe she just won the Invicta strap in her last fight. It was that 5-round. Yeah, she did. It was a 5-round title fight against Lisa Verzosa. I watched that fight, man, and I'm talking about Julia's most recent fight, and the first round comes out. She pulls guard about 100 times because that's what she does. If you look at her record, almost every single one of her wins, actually, I want to say almost every single one of her wins, except her most recent fight, was her pulling guard at the beginning of the fight and landing an armbar in a girl. And that absolutely didn't work against this Lisa girl in her last fight. Julia won the first round, but like, dude, she gassed the fuck out. And then the next 4 rounds was just her coming forward, blocking punches with her face, and clearly getting outboxed by Lisa Verzosa. And guys, y'all should watch this fight because I know I was just talking about a robbery on Contender Series last night. This fucking fight right here was a big time robbery. Julia did not win that fight. She lost rounds 2, 4, and 5, in my opinion. Can't believe she's getting the UFC call here. I mean, I guess it's obviously because Ketlen Vieira pulled. It was originally supposed to be Ketlen Vieira and Yana Kunitskaya, which that's a pretty good fucking fight. It's kind of disappointing it's not happening, man. But man, I get to take advantage of a pretty fucked up line here because Yana opened, I want to say, like minus 200. And then for whatever reason, the public steamed Julia, and Yana Kunitskaya I got at minus 135 odds. She was actually minus 120 at one point, which is so crazy. And then I wake up the next morning and she's minus 235. So, yeah, I definitely beat the line on this one. I think, man, just don't get armbarred in the first round, and you are good to go, Yana Kunitskaya. If that second round hits, she's going to have the way better gas tank. She's already the way more technical fighter. I think she can, although I wouldn't recommend it because Stoliarenko gets armbars off her back. I think Yana could wrestle here, but really the way she's going to win this fight is just Man, she's gonna mash this girl's face in. Minus 500, Julia Stoliarenko gets busted open this fight. I mean, dude, I mean, this girl bleeds every fight because like she just blocks punches with her faces. It's like the ugliest shit I've ever seen, dude. I can't believe this girl got another call in the UFC. I mean, I had to take advantage of it. So yeah, Yana Kunitskaya, 30-26 decision.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna go with fucking Yana as well. Julia, I mean, has a good ground game. I mean, most of her wins are by sub and by armbar. She has a nasty armbar, and let's be honest, Yana's been armbar before. She's been tapped out twice. Aspen Ladd fucking dominated her on the mat, dude. So obviously, I think Julia has a great ground game. I think that she could get her down, but if she doesn't, she's probably getting a gas. And Yana's a pretty tough girl. I don't think that she's a quitter or anything. She's more technical on the feet. Julia's striking is not that good. Yeah, I didn't really look into it that much, but I mean, Yana has said in the past, right, that what has she said in the past about like not like she wanted to have a baby or I don't know, what was it like? Clear this up.
No, it was an April Fool's Day post. That's where this is coming. She on April Fool's, she posted a picture of a fucking the sonogram or whatever the fuck the black and white baby picture is, and people thought she was pregnant, but it was just a fucking April Fool's joke. And no, absolutely not. Yana Kunitskaya and Thiago Santos are they're chasing gold together. Kids will come later in life.
Who was her last fight? Was it against Ronell? Her last fight?
Her last fight was the Aspen Ladd fight, I believe.
Okay, and then before that, she lost the Renault fight. Like, I know you think that I'm like in love with Renault. I like Renault, but that was a pretty close fight, dude. Renault was fucking her up, dude, on the feet, like her fucking nose and all that shit. It was close, man. I mean, when you rewatched it, I think that Yana won, but I don't know, man. It was a back and forth fucking fight. But then again, I just don't think Julia is that good of a striker. I think that she has to get this fight down on the mat. So I'm gonna go with Yana. Not confident at all. Next fight. We have fucking Maki Pitolo, Coconut Bomb versus Darren Stewart. We've been talking about this fight a lot. I like the line where he was plus 155, plus 160. Now a lot of money is coming on. He's plus 135. I want to see where the line goes, but I got the underdog here, man. I can't believe it. I cannot believe that I'm picking a dude that lost to fucking Harry Potter. I really can't. I mean, Harry Potter's a fucking joke. But number one, completely fucking different matchup. Number two, this guy's undefeated at 185. I mean, he looks like a fucking really big middleweight. I heard when you watched the fight against Charles Byrd, you heard the announcers, I forget who it was, said the guy walks around at 215, 220. So I'm like, damn, bro. I mean, this guy was suffocating himself to fight at 170, man. Yes, Darren Stewart, I mean, a really disappointing performance last fight against Bartos, and this is not the same matchup. It's a different matchup. This is two strikers. I do believe the Coconut Bombs has the better grappling. I think that he can take him down. But on the feet, if you actually really look at it, like Stewart definitely has more power. He has knockout power, but Coconut Bombs has more volume, man. I mean, the guy legit throws a lot of volume, and I like the way he rips the body. That's what everyone says. I like his right hand. I like his forward pressure. He's tough. I mean, yes, he's a little chinny. He's been knocked out multiple times, twice. If you watch the tape on Stewart, though, like he's tough. The one thing about Stewart, he's tough. He has a good chin. But, I mean, you watch the fight with Charles Byrd. He was getting his ass kicked that whole fight until he got landed at those elbows. And then even the Spicy fight, I thought that fucking Spicy had some moments in that fight. And then the fucking Duran Win fight, that was really fucking close. I thought Duran Win actually won that, to be honest. Then the Bavon Lewis fight, he won the first two rounds, kind of just stepped off the gas and didn't do shit in the third round, lost the third round. Shabazin fight, we know what happened there. Shabazin just kind of dominated him on the map. So, I mean, he loses to grapplers, Stewart, but I mean, he also, I don't know, man. The guy just has low volume, bro, on the feet. I do think that he can knock out Coconut Bombs. That's why I'm kind of staying away. Why I'm thinking about staying away. But then again, I always just think back. I mean, just like I just talked about right now, the fact that he's been undefeated 185. Yeah, he hasn't fought anyone on the career that Stewart is, but I don't think Stewart's that good, man. I think that we were like too hyped on him for the Shabazin fight, man. Yeah, man. I mean, I think Coconut Bombs has more pressure, has more volume, and I think that he can definitely throw more volume and land them, have the fucking, like kind of pick them apart at range on the feet. But I don't know, man. I mean, Stewart fucking can tag him, and Stewart has a really good straight left, and he has good elbows. Stewart has decent wrestling too. I don't think he can take down coconut bombs, but if anyone takes anyone down, I think it's gonna be coconut bombs. Stewart kind of slows down as well in his fight, so I mean, I'm gonna go with the dog. I'm gonna go coconut bombs. I think that he's gonna go out there and hurt him on the feet, man, and get a submission, dude. I'm gonna go with coconut bombs by a second round submission, but yeah, stay tuned to Twitter because I might bet on him. We'll see. But the whole 185 thing, dude. I mean, he's won every fight at 185, and he's looked really good too, man. I don't know, man. It's just, do I bet on the guy that lost to Harry Potter, or I don't know. Kelton, who do you
Yeah, I don't know, man. Another really fucking close fight. I thought there was definitely value on Mackie Pitolo plus 150 or better. Now it's kind of like, I still think there's actually value on Mackie Pitolo, if anything, and just because he's the underdog, I'm gonna pick him here, even though I think this is a really fucking close fight, man. It's like pre-tape before I looked into this fight, I'm like, oh my gosh, they're gonna stand and bang, and Darren Stewart is the way more durable guy, hits like a truck. He's gonna knock Mackie Pitolo the fuck out. But then when you look into it, it's like Mackie Pitolo looked terrible at 170. At 185, he definitely looked better. But granted, it's against Charles Byrd, who just fucking retired. So, like, I don't know. This is going to be like a real big telling fight for Mackie Pitolo. I think if he can come out here and beat Darren Stewart, yeah, he might be able to, make a career for himself at 185. In fact, he definitely should. I mean, making 170, geez, man. I mean, here's one of the bigger 70s on the roster, but didn't matter much. It just sucked the life out of him, and he went out there and lost to, I mean, a guy who's probably not even on the roster anymore in Callan Potter. So, like, I kind of want to, like, not bet Mackie Pitolo here just because, like, I don't know, man. He's not even the best. He's not even, like, the best fighter in the world to begin with, and that's not to say I think Darren Stewart is amazing or anything. It's just I feel like on the feet here, Darren Stewart, he is the better striker. I think he will land the harder shots. But I actually think Mackie Pitolo could come in here with some takedowns, man. I've seen him get takedowns in the took down Charles Byrd, and then I forgot what fight it was in the regionals, but I saw him take down a guy in the regionals. And we all know Darren Stewart has a massive fucking gap in his wrestling game. So, yeah, maybe Mackie being stronger here at 185. I think maybe he could steal some rounds with some takedowns. But then on the other side, I could see Darren Stewart stealing some rounds with some big punches. So I'm going to say this is going to be like an insanely close, greasy split decision. But I'll go with the underdog, Mackie Pitolo, just literally because he's the underdog. So I'll say he wins a 29-28.
We both fucked up on Pitolo's last fight, man. I think we both picked him to win, and we just didn't bet him. I mean, that was legit easy money. So next fight, man, we got Omari Akhmedov versus Chris Weidman, man. Kelton, who do you got?
Man, this is a really fucking interesting fight, man. I've gone back and forth on it big time. It's just a matter of, like, can Omari Akhmedov stop because, like, if he can, he's going to put some heat on Chris Weidman because, I mean, Omari Akhmedov, guys, like, I know everyone, like, the big talk is, oh my gosh, Chris Weidman doesn't have to face a top 5 guy anymore. This is such a big step down in competition, yada, yada, yada. Guys, Omari Akhmedov is, like, ranked 11 in the world or some shit. Just beat Ian Heinisch. Omari Akhmedov is a serious fucking guy, and, like, he's not a knockout artist by any means, but, like, look at the fucking size of him. If he wants to swing heat, he will swing heat. And I think, I mean, he has to know that Chris Weidman is shinny as shit. So I think Omari's a fucking smart guy. I think he knows what he has to do to win this fight. So I think you're going to see a more aggressive and, harder throwing Omari Akhmedov. Like, expect to see him throw bombs in this fight. And just because he doesn't have really any knockouts in the UFC, I think he has, like, a leg kick TKO or an injury over, like, Brian Ebersol way back in the day or some shit. Just because he doesn't have a lot of KOs in the UFC, like, don't think he can't get one here, especially against a guy that's been knocked out 5 out of his 6 last fights. And even in the one win Chris Weidman has, he almost got knocked out in that fight. He got saved by the bell against Kelton Gastelum. That being said, man, Omari Akhmedov, like, he has been taken down in the past. Chris Weidman by far is the better wrestler. Chris Weidman by far has the better cardio if he is able to get this fight late. So I don't know, man. Like, you can make arguments all day long on either side, in my opinion. It's just like my brain tells me go with the guy who hasn't lost his last 5 out of 6 fights. Go with the guy who hasn't got knocked out 5 out of his last 6 fights. I'm going to go with and especially since he's the dog, man. Like, when Chris Weidman was like plus 100 or plus 105, whatever he is, I'm making arguments for Weidman in my head. But now that Omari Akhmedov's plus fucking 115, I have no problem picking him here all day long. But I will admit, if it hits the 3rd round and he's tired, I'm going to be so worried that Weidman, takes him down, takes the back, maybe even gets a rear naked choke. Yeah, it could end up being like a sweat fest too. It could be like a situation where Akhmedov definitely wins the 1st, Weidman definitely wins the 3rd, and then the 2nd round is like where the tides switch. So like you saw Omari early and Weidman late, so it could come down to that 2nd round. It could end up being a really close fight, but my brain tells me that Akhmedov puts the heat on him and knocks him out. So Omari Akhmedov, round 1 knockout.
Yeah, this is probably one of the most confident picks of the night, man. This is my second bet. My first bet was on Munoz, 2 units to plus 210. I really fucked up on the fucking line here. I did not see Omari hitting plus money. I put 3 units at minus 115. Now he's plus 115. I have good money management right now, but I mean, I might have to put fucking more money on Omari, man. I might have to fucking put a max bet on him. A max bet on Omari. I'm thinking about it right now. I don't see how he loses this fight. I think it's a great matchup for him. I don't understand how people are saying, he does not have knockout power just because he hasn't had a knockout one in the UFC. If you watch his fucking fights, he hits like a fucking truck. Look at the Jaynes fight. I don't care what anyone says. Jaynes probably has one of the best chins in the division by far. And you watch the fucking first 2 minutes of that 1st round, Omari was hurting him, dude. He rocked him. He was backing him up. Jaynes was like hesitant to pull the trigger. I mean, Jaynes won the 3rd round, but that's the story with Omari. He loses the 3rd round. I mean, I don't even know if this fight hits the fucking 2nd minute of the 1st round. I mean, Weidman's fucking done. He's washed up. His chin is fucking done. Everyone's talking about Omari's cardio. Weidman doesn't even have good cardio either. I mean, look at the Jacare Souza fight, bro. When has Jacare Souza ever knocked out anybody besides Brunson? No, he doesn't. And Weidman was dominated in that fight, and he got fucking knocked the fuck out, dude. That guy's chin is done. Yes, he's fought in good competition, but I don't trust anyone that has a chin like that, dude, at all. He does not have good cardio either. His striking is fucking not good. I mean, people are acting like he's going to go out there and take Omari down. It's over. Like, I don't think so. Omari has good takedown defense, too. He's going to be hard to take down. Also, too, people are saying, like, I've heard this a lot, and by people that, like, I respect. Oh, well, Weidman just fought at 205, and Omari is a former welterweight. You look at Omari now, the guy's huge, dude. He's one of the biggest fucking middleweights in the UFC. He's huge, dude. Like, straight up. So I don't get all that whole fucking Weidman shit, bro. Weidman doesn't even look like he's in that good of shape. He has a fucking dad bod, it looks like, dude. So, I mean, Omari definitely, I think, is a really fucking big guy. And I think that people are really sleeping on him, man. His counter striking is fucking really good. His chin's been good at 185. Both those losses are 170, man, where I think that he was cutting too much weight. I mean, yes, he's lost the 3rd round at 85 against Vettori and then against Jaynes, but I mean, he still looked really good at fucking middleweight, dude. He's undefeated. He had that draw as well. Like I mentioned, I think his best part of his game is his counter striking. He's so smart. He has a really good jab, a really good straight left, a really good straight right. And I mean, I think he hits like a truck. And I think that the chin of Weidman is a huge liability. You've been knocked out 5 out of your last 6 fights. And everyone's talking about the cardio of Omari. Weidman's cardio is not that much better. I think it's on the same level. So if it hits the 3rd round, I will be worried. But let's be honest, this fight's not hitting the third round. I feel like Omari's gonna rock him really fucking early, and I got Omari, just like you mentioned, first round KO. So next fight, we got the main event. We got Oleinik versus Derek Lewis. This is a good fight. Personally, I cannot bet this fight. I can't do it. I mean, I've been telling myself all week, do it, do it, do it. I can't. You might be shocked who I pick here, but I'm gonna go with the dog, man. I'm gonna go with Oleinik to get the win. Derek Lewis, man. Man, he's inconsistent, dude. He really is. He's 2-2 in his last four. 2-fight winning streak. I mean, come on, dude. The Bagoy fight was really fucking close. The last fight, I mean, he barely beat a fucking jobber. I mean, I don't care what anyone says. Latifi's just fucking a washed up fucking guy. We've seen him get taken down, man. And I think Oleinik 100% has a better ground game. I mean, it's not a question. It's just the thing with Oleinik is, like, can he take a big shot? I don't know. I mean, he's 4-2 in his last 6, but I mean, he got sparked by Wall Harris. He got sparked by who else did he get sparked by? Wall Harris. He got sparked by
Overeem.
Fucking Overeem. I mean, he showed a lot of heart last fight against Verdun, but that's a totally different matchup. Lewis is, he's explosive, dude. I mean, for his size, the guy's fast. The guy fucking has knockout power. The guy's been looking in the best shape he's ever been in. I don't trust either guy. I really don't. Like, I feel like at the current line, it's dog or pass. Because I feel like unless he gets him down to the mat, Derek Lewis is not getting up. Like, that's how good Leslie's ground game is. But if Derek Lewis hurts him, it's probably over, man. I mean, Leslie's chin, he's tough, dude, but he's chinny. He's been knocked out like 5 or 6 times, dude. And one thing about Derek Lewis that I like about him is that the guy, you could say that he's been knocked out a couple times, which he has, but hold on real quick. Okay. Did he quit against Mark Hunt? Maybe, but besides that fight, he shows a lot of heart, dude. He showed a lot of heart against Travis Brown, man. There's one thing I like about Derek Lewis is he's tough as fuck, dude. I mean, his ribs were fucking hurting so bad against Brown. He fucking still got the W. I mean, Ty Burr was fucking dominated him from pillar to pillar, and he still got the knockout. Fucking the same with the Volkov fight. But then again, stylistic matchup. I think that Oleinik gets down on the mat, and I think he gets him out of there. I got Oleinik with the first round submission. Who do you got?
Man, I'm going to disagree with you actually quite confidently. I'm going to make Derek Lewis one of my biggest DraftKings plays of the weekend. I think this is a really good matchup for him, man. And, this is coming from a guy who took Alexei Oleinik in his last 2 fights at dog money. But the thing is, Maurice Green and Fabricio Verdum are not hard hitters. And if you look at the 2 fights previous, Walt Harris and Overeem, 2 extremely powerful strikers. I mean, dusting them out of there fucking easily, man. I mean, in my opinion, Curtis Blades put some real damage on Alexei Oleinik. And then, he Ezekiel chokes the guy who wore the diaper. He submitted Mark Hunt, who wanted nothing to do with MMA anymore. And then when he fought Overeem, took that step up in competition, that top, 7-ish guy, got knocked out, destroyed first round. Walt Harris got knocked out in 12 seconds, guys. Walt Harris is a guy who I like Walt Harris, but in my opinion, Derek Lewis has exceeded Walt Harris when it comes to just overall credentials in MMA as far as like resume. Derek Lewis has some great fucking wins, man. I mean, you mentioned like the Marcin Tybura fight, the Alexander Volkov fight. He's losing some of these fights, and then he's tough, man. He's tough for sure. And even when he's gassed, like he fucking goes for it. Like Derek Lewis has heart, man. Even the what was the other fight? Shamil Abdurakhimov, bro. I think that was Lewis's like first main event way back in the day. Finished him in the 4th round, and I like this fight. That this fight is 5 rounds, man. I mean, not that I think it's gonna go very far. I do have Derek Lewis via first round knockout, but like if Oleinik's gassed, man, and this fight goes late, like I love Derek Lewis late in fights against Oleinik here all day long. Like Oleinik's got a really bad gas tank, and he gets real fucking ugly when he is gassed. So I think Derek Lewis could knock him out at any point during this fight. As far as the grappling, like that, yeah, that's the big concern. Oleinik is a BJJ beast, whatnot, but like, guys, how many times, like, if you watch Derek Lewis's whole career, like, guys, how many times have you seen this guy that's just like power out of shit? Like, he bench presses dudes right off of him sometimes. And I mean, of course, the last fight against Latifi, you could use as a negative. He got taken down a few times there, controlled quite a bit, but like, Latifi's a better pure wrestler than Alexei Oleinik. Like, Alexei Oleinik has that BJJ, but like, he's not a good wrestler. In fact, he pulls guard a lot. Like, he pulls down for that Ezekiel choke. But man, I think Derek Lewis is going to be able, especially with like a fresh tank of gas in the first round, I think he can stop the grappling. And, you know, if he puts some power on Oleinik, I am not convinced whatsoever Oleinik can take it. So going to go with Derek Lewis here, round 1 knockout.
Yeah, man, it's a fight that I can't bet on, but yeah, we're going head to head. So bets wise, let's do a little recap. So far, I have 5 units risk. I have 3 units on Omari minus 115, and 2 units on Munoz at plus 210. Thinking about betting on coconut bombs, and I'm also thinking about putting more on Omari. So stay tuned to Twitter. Kelton, want to say your plays one more time?
Yeah, man, I got 3 plays right now. I got 4 units on Yusuf Zalal. I got 3 units on Jesus Christ, I'm blanking right now. I got 3 units on Yana Kuniskaya minus 135, and then I got 2 units on the newcomer Ali Al-Qaisi at plus 170. And I'm really thinking about Omari Akhmedov. If I have a 4th and final play, it will be Omari Akhmedov, especially if his line keeps getting better.
I mean, he's dog money. I mean, bro, I hit him at minus 115. Like, I feel like Omari should be like a minus 160 favorite. I don't get the line at all. So yeah, we'll be back next week. I'm really excited for Contender Series next week. There's some really good fucking fighters on that card. Our boy's back. Impa, bro. That dude is fucking gonna be a beast in the UFC, dude. He's been training with Holtzman too. I mean, look at his pictures. Holy shit, bro. Like he's a huge middleweight. Holtzman looks like a middleweight, bro. I'm like, what the fuck, Holtzman? Also, I like TJ Laramie, bro. A lot of people think he's a fraud and all this, but I mean, the guy beat Jourdain pretty recently too. So that was Jourdain's last loss besides the Feely fight. Yeah, good card next week, and I mean the fucking UFC card stacked, dude. That's a really good card. Stipe versus DC. There's already a dog bet on there that I'm gonna be betting pretty soon. I'm not gonna say it yet, but yeah, we already know who it is. And there's a lot of good fights in that card. Like there's some live dogs, man. I mean, good card. Anything you want to say before we go?
Nah, man. I'm excited for that pay-per-view next week. I know we're gonna have a guest appearance on. I'm pretty sure.
Yes, we are, man. We are. I know some people have been complaining about the thumbnails and all that. I will have thumbnails tonight. I'll start doing thumbnails. I forgot the last 2 cards.
Timestamps?
Timestamps. I don't know why I said thumbnails. Yes, I'll do timestamps. I usually always do it. Just the last 2 cards, just got lazy and was tired, but been busy. But yeah. So all right, guys, we'll be back next week, and please like and subscribe. Let us know. Do you guys have any questions or anything? And yeah, let us know what you guys have, and we'll be back. And we didn't really talk about DraftKings that much tonight, but yeah, I cannot wait to play some DraftKings as well. So later, guys.